My beloved children, today I desire to bestow upon you sacred teachings of great significance. Listen with reverence, remember them in your hearts, and faithfully put my words into practice. For only through your obedience shall I behold in you an unfathomable and boundless love for me. My beloved children, hear my divine teachings. For today I come to impart to you a most essential truth of the kingdom of heaven, the virtue of sharing. My beloved children, open your hearts wide, for sharing is not merely a human act, but the very essence of the love that I have bestowed upon you. Each time you give, you do not suffer loss. Rather, you receive abundantly in return. Do you know, my children, miracles always manifest when you practice sharing and giving. Trust in my words, for I am ever present within you each time this noble act is carried out. I am always beside you when you give and share. For in your generosity, you become a light unto the world. You are the embodiment of my hands, reaching out to souls in need of love and compassion. My beloved child, recall the teachings I have imparted to you since the dawn of creation. From the very beginning, I have loved you with an immeasurable and boundless love. Therefore, I have bestowed upon mankind the most glorious gifts. I have set the sun to shine upon you by day and the moon and stars to illuminate the night. I have sent rain upon the fields, that the trees may bear abundant fruit, and the beasts of the earth may thrive in their pastures. These are the blessings I have ordained for your lives, enduring throughout all generations. Yet, above all these, I have given you a gift of surpassing worth. I have placed within your hearts the most sacred of treasures, love and compassion. For it is through this divine love that the act of sharing is fulfilled in its most perfect and holy form. My beloved child, do you not see how this world is filled with those who dwell in loneliness and want? Do you not witness, amid the abundance of riches, those who lack even a morsel of bread to eat or a drop of water to drink? Do you not feel your heart stirred with compassion? I did not create you to live in selfishness and isolation, but so that you may uphold one another, bear each other's burdens, and extend your hands to those in need. Sharing is not merely the giving of material possessions. It is the offering of time, kindness, forgiveness, and sincere concern. Remember, no one is so rich that they do not need to receive, and no one is so poor that they cannot give. When you offer a smile, a word of encouragement, or a helping hand, you bring my love into the world. And when you love one another as I have commanded, the kingdom of heaven is made manifest among you. My beloved child, sharing is not merely giving possessions. My dear child, do you think that sharing is merely offering a portion of your excess wealth? No, I tell you, true sharing goes beyond material possessions. If you can offer a piece of bread to the hungry, it is good. But if you can share a word of comfort with the sorrowful, a smile with the lonely, or an embrace with the despairing, then that is far more precious. For this is the love that I have sown into your hearts, my beloved child. Let me tell you a story, a lesson on the power of sharing. Listen carefully and reflect upon it in your own heart. Once, I saw a poor man living in a remote village. Though he had little, he always shared his meager portion of bread with those who were even less fortunate. One day, I saw him encounter an orphan child, weak from hunger. Without hesitation, the man gave away his entire meal to the child, even though it meant he himself would go hungry. Yet, despite his sacrifice, he felt a deep joy in his heart. Years passed, and that child grew up to be a compassionate soul, helping many others in need, continuing to spread the very love that had once been given to him. My beloved child, the value of sharing does not lie in the magnitude of what you give, but in the sincerity of your heart when you give. The wealthy may distribute much, but if their hearts remain hardened, they have not truly shared. Yet the poor who willingly offer even a small portion, out of love and kindness, plant seeds of compassion that will bear fruit for generations to come. My beloved child, when you share, I am there beside you. Remember my words, my children. Each time you share, you are not merely helping another, you are doing it for me. As I have said, truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. Look around you, my beloved children, and you will see me in the midst of the suffering. I am there in the eyes of the poor mother who worries for her child. I am present in the pain of the lost soul seeking direction, in the weary traveler longing for a kind word. I dwell in every smile you offer that warms the heart of another. No act of sharing is too small in my eyes, for each time you give with love, you bring the kingdom of heaven closer to this world. Listen, my child, to this story, and understand well the lesson I wish to teach you. One day, a beggar came to the door of a wealthy man, asking for food. The rich man, unwilling to share even his scraps, turned him away with disdain. But soon after, a great storm arose and swept away all of his riches. It was only then that he realized, wealth is fleeting, but love and kindness endure forever. My beloved child, close your eyes and picture this. Before you stands a beggar shivering in the cold, a mother weeping for her hungry child, a traveler exhausted with no one to help him. If you offer them a cup of water, a warm coat, a morsel of food, you are offering it to me. If you hold their hand and speak words of comfort, if you stay with them in their sorrow, it is my heart that feels the warmth of your love. So, my beloved children, see me in every person who is in need. Help them as if you were helping me. This is the unity of love that I desire for all of you. My beloved child, share and receive my blessings. I tell you this, my children, whoever shares will never be in want. For the laws of my kingdom are not like the laws of this world. In the world, people believe that accumulating more will make them wealthy. But in the kingdom of heaven, it is those who give abundantly who are truly filled. Remember my words in the scriptures. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Luke 6:38. Anyone who is generous, I will be there with them, and I will bless them beyond measure. Did I not do this for the poor widow who had only a little flour and oil left to bake her final loaf of bread? Yet, when a weary traveler came to her door, she did not hesitate to share what little she had. And behold, her jar of flour never ran empty, and her jug of oil never dried up. This is my blessing upon those who give from a heart of love. For, have I not declared, a generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. Proverbs 11:25. My beloved child, trust that sharing will never leave you empty. Instead, it is the very path to abundance and divine fulfillment. Give with sincerity, and I shall pour out my blessings upon you, filling you beyond what you can contain. My beloved child, teach your children to share. I give you this command. My children, never forget it. O parents, do you teach your children the virtue of sharing? Or do you instruct them only in the ways of accumulating wealth for themselves? If you desire your children and grandchildren to lead a truly blessed and joyful life, then teach them to love and to give from an early age. Let them experience the joy of generosity. Help them understand that true wealth is not measured by gold and silver, but by the hearts they touch with kindness. And in their acts of sharing, they will witness my presence among them. Have I not taught you this already? It is written in the scriptures, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Raise your children in love and generosity, just as I am teaching you today. For when you sow the seeds of compassion in their hearts, you open for them a path of divine blessing. If a child learns to give from a young age, he will grow with an open heart, and I shall pour out my blessings upon him. Once, There was a little boy who watched his father always reserve the best portion of bread for the poor who knocked at their door. One day, he asked his father, "Why do you not keep the best for yourself?" The father smiled and said, "My son, sharing does not make us poor. It makes us rich in the love of the Lord." Years later, that boy became a man filled with compassion, continuing the path his father had walked, becoming a light to those in need. Therefore, my beloved children, do not only teach your little ones to gather riches, but teach them to enrich the world with love. When one generation learns to love and share, society will be filled with harmony and peace. And when you do this, I am there, watching over you, blessing you, and rejoicing in your goodness. And finally, my beloved children, let your lives be a torch of love. My beloved children, today I have taught you about the virtue of sharing. It is not merely a fleeting act, but a way of life, a reflection of love and compassion. When you share, you do more than give material things. You bring hope to the weary, warmth to the cold-hearted, and light to a world in need. This is the world of blessings that I have created, and you are its rightful heirs. Remember, in every act of love that you offer, I am present. When you comfort the sorrowful, when you extend a helping hand to the weak, when you guide a lost soul back to the path of righteousness, I am there, working through you, manifesting my miracles. Therefore, my children, do not hesitate to do good. Sow seeds of kindness and open your hearts without fear. For as I have promised, those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy. Psalm 126:5. And when the time comes for you to stand before me, I shall welcome you with open arms and say, "Well done, my faithful and devoted servant. Enter into the joy of your Lord. My peace is with you always. From this day forward, go forth and live my command. Spread love, share abundantly, and bring light to every corner of the world." Amen.